Good evening. I'd like to begin our meeting this evening with pledge to the flag, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If everybody's had a chance to look over the minutes and operating statements from last month's meeting, I'd like to have a motion to approve them as printed.
Motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Are there any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Noes, motion's carried. Okay, under mayor's report, just want to report that about a week and a half ago, saw all these kids from Elmer Wolf School come down. It was the 5th grade class, and it's something they do every year. When they start school, they get around in the fall of the year, they get these little baby trouts, and they put them in aquariums up there, and they watch them grow all year long. Then at the end of the year, before you end the school season, they come down, they take them down and put them in the stream down in our park. It's like the 3rd year they've done that, and the lady said they usually watch and see because she walks down there every day. She lives up next to Kemar, and she walks and see when they have it mowed down, where they can take the kids out along the bank so they don't have to walk through the tall grass. So they put all, and I asked her how many. She says, we don't know. We just have a bucket full of them, and they put the little baby trout in the stream. So it's a tradition they do every year, so it works out pretty good. So I guess that's the reason why we give you a problem down there saying it's a trout stream.
Yeah.
So, but it's nice that they do that. It gives the kids, they watch them grow all year long, and when the end of the year, they go home and they just bring them down there and dump them in the stream. And then they bring another class down there, and they do, I don't know what all the kids do down there, but they bring one group down in the morning, then they bring another group down in the afternoon and spend the day down there. So that's good for them. I'm sure they'd rather be there than sit in school all day long. So, okay, being Logan is on the town council now, Logan is going to continue to be our liaison for the town council on planning and zoning board. And we have an alternate. Our other alternate, Mr. Dari, he's had some medical issues, hasn't been able to attend. So we have Katie, and I don't know how she pronounces her last name.
Is it Katoski?
Katoski. Lives on Broadway here, West Broadway here in Union Bridge. She's agreed that she would be an alternate for planning and zoning. So the alternate, I think right now, should be one that comes to most of the meetings, because we never know when we have enough people there, and just to keep up with what's going on. And if Mr. Hill is really serious about what he was talking about the other week, there's going to be a lot more zoning meetings. So would like to make those 2 appointments. We have a budget amendment,
We need
a motion on that.
appointment. Just for the one for Kate? Okay, I'll make a motion that we appoint Kate Kotowski for the alternate on Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Are there any questions?
Okay, do one for the liaison, too.
Yeah.
Add him. And I will add Logan Grossnickel as our liaison for Planning and Zoning.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Those, okay. And we have amendment to the budget. The budget hasn't changed. It's just moving money from one category to another, and it's still balanced as it was. Let's see. Want to read this whole thing? So
No,
that-
I mean, just tell what it's being, the very first.
Okay, amend the fiscal year 24-25 budget by transferring funds as listed below to cover equipment expenditures, zero-turn mower, I&I field investigation, cleaning infiltration issue at the western sewer stream crossing. And the budget remains the same as it was. It's just transferring money around. So you want us to have a motion on that so it's approved?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the amendment on the budget. Are there any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Noes? Okay, that's taken care of. Okay, that's all I have, other than next week we will be going to Ocean City for the summer conference. I think Tony's going, Ellen's going, Laura's going, myself, and we'll give a report of what happened at the conference when we come back at our next month's meeting. And Mandy, you're up.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I am here for the records retention and disposal schedule, which we do every 2 years. We have to update that. What you have in front of you is the records retention and disposal schedule. Nothing has been changed on this from the last time. Again, this is required by the state of Maryland for the development of program efficiency in managing records. It also promotes legal accountability, and it gives the authority of local municipalities to transfer permanent files to the state archive. It also allows a time frame of when certain matters can be destroyed so that you're not filling up town office with the I did review this. Nothing in the state has increased the time that the town has, and from what I understand is the town does not want to change any of the years of retaining some of either permanent or the 1 year. There's no increase or decrease to any of these. So everything is up to date as far as state law. There's nothing that has been changed or would make the town have to make any revisions to this thus far.
Okay.
So it would be my recommendation to the town that as far as what is here in front of you for the records retention and disposal schedule, that be approved by town council.
Okay. Are we ready to make a motion to approve this?
Sure. I move we approve the records management program for the town of Union Bridge.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Noes? Motion's carried.
And we don't have to send anything to them anymore, just have records that we updated it.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. That it?
That is it for tonight.
Okay. Captain McGinnis.
All right, good evening, guys. It's good to be here on a gloomy day. I think somebody said to me earlier, it was the morning. They said good morning, and it was 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So I said, I don't blame you one bit. It's one of those days.
Yep.
And I feel it for some reason today. But anyhow, between May 19th and June 16th, 2025, the Carroll County Sheriff's Office received 29 calls for service within the town of Union Bridge. Out of those calls for service, 4 were found to be reportable. On May 27, 25 at 10:30 a.m., the Sheriff's Office responded to a single vehicle collision around Green Valley Road and Main Street. The owner of the vehicle was not on scene. However, the incident was fresh based off the temperature of the vehicle, and the airbags were deployed. The deputy was able to make contact with the owner of the vehicle. He was determined to be the operator at the time of the collision. Citations were issued, and that case was closed. Take my time. I'm struggling today for some reason. Like I said, I told Perry earlier I had to burn 4 hours of leave this morning because I had a migraine, so I don't know what's going on. But anyhow, on May 31st, 2025 at approximately 12:20 a.m., deputies responded to a domestic in progress on Lightner Street. Multiple injuries were observed to the victim, which initially led to the suspect's arrest for alleged second-degree assault domestic. Through the course of the investigation, however, intimate details were relayed that upgraded this to a first-degree assault. This case is open for additional charges. I did check it earlier, and as far as I know, it's still open for additional charges. On June 3rd, 2025, at approximately 10:34 a.m., deputies responded to a domestic in progress on Stoner Street. Upon arrival, deputies discovered this incident was not domestic related, and the alleged victim did not want to pursue charges. Case was closed, lack of prosecution. On June 6, 2025, at approximately 9:42 p.m., an assault was reported in the 30 block of North Main Street. Victim was identified with multiple light abrasions to his left arm and face. The suspect was identified as well. The victim refused medical attention. It's unclear exactly what transpired due to a lack of information from the victim and the suspect. case open pending follow-up with the victim. And then, is anyone aware of any minor collisions that occurred in town? So I had one yesterday.
Saturday,
So I have
yeah.
the same issue between towns. Under my reporting system, if it's not a reportable incident, like in our CAD system, so like when I take an incident report for anything criminal, I have an incident report. If it's nothing like that, it's just an accident that you exchange information or something like that, it doesn't show up in my reporting system. So I'm trying to come up with creative ways to pull up those different minor collisions. Now, there is a way to do it, but unfortunately for me earlier, I was just tied up on a few things and wasn't able to really look into it. But I know I had one Saturday here at West Broadway and Maine, but I don't want to be missing these going forward. So just kind of bringing it up, and I don't know if anybody heard or saw anything or if there's any questions regarding that. So wanted to bring that up. Of course, National Night Out, Tuesday, August 5th, 6 to 8 p.m. I'm sure Laura is the liaison for everything with that in Union Bridge. But just a reminder to everyone, we will have a New Windsor location and a Union Bridge location. So you guys come out and have a good time. We'll have some police vehicles out there, and who knows, maybe we'll get the helicopter this year. I did request.
That was a lot of fun when you used to have that.
Yeah. So I think it might come to New Windsor, but I'm not sure. So of course they got a schedule and they might get called out for something, but they said they'll put me at the top of the list. So that'd be nice. They got a good spot to land there at the ball field, but I'm not even sure where they would have it up here in town if they're able to stop here. I guess that would probably be the closest location.
They did it at the fairgrounds.
They could
Really?
do it here at the carnival ground or the parking lot or at the ball field up at the community center. We can't right now because it's kind of wet up there, but.
Yeah. But that's all going to par. We're, planning on, I think you normally have a band. We're planning on having a band in New Windsor as well. And so it'll be a good time. Guys come out, enjoy the refreshments and meeting us and handouts and things like that. So, nothing else I can think of currently.
I think the only thing we have to keep reminding people is that, when something happens, to call call the sheriff's department, because if you're off duty, you don't get it until you come back. And then people say, well, I called Kevin and he didn't do this. Well, if you're off duty, you're off duty. And if you're off for 2 or 3 days, or you're working night work, you come day work, or vice versa, if, they need to call the sheriff's office so that they can dispatch somebody else or report whatever's going on. And then, sometimes they'll just keep it to themselves until you come back, and then they're all blowed up because it wasn't taken care of immediately. But They have to remember that,
Yeah, I completely agree with that. It kind of comes with the territory. People feel more comfortable. I get it.
But,
Call me directly or,
but,
but
when I will not call you on your private line when you're off duty or your sheriff's line, because I know your schedule. You're off. I'm not going to call you. But there's people in town that they think that, if you're off duty or whatever, you're on vacation, they can still call you. But that's when they should call the sheriff's office.
yeah, anything minor or something I can follow up to,
Yeah.
certainly give me a call. Or if there's an idea somebody has about something, certainly give me a call.
Oh,
Or if
yeah.
it's something that's reportable and needs to be taken right away, certainly
Needs to
call
go,
911. If I'm working, I'm going to be the one that comes out.
Right.
But if I'm not working, somebody else will take care of it right away, and I can follow up to it maybe if it's if it's a case that is going to take some time and effort. I just thank you for bringing that up, because I think today I have 4 or 5 voicemails I haven't got to yet. So
Yeah.
it adds up after a while. So,
It does.
but I do appreciate that. I think that's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Okay. Committee reports. We'll start over this side with Laura.
Okay, let me find my list. So I delivered letters to Elmer Wolf for the student winner and the teacher and principal for the If I Were Mayor essay contest, invited them to attend our July 2025 council meeting. I made flyers for our snow cone event. I requested a PIA for May 2025. I requested a food permit for a snow cone event, and I have to just say that Lisa Staley from the health department is so patient with me because I wrote the wrong date twice. She texted or she emailed me to ask me to clarify which date I wanted. That's when I realized neither date was correct. So she's very patient with me and my scatterbrain sometimes. I attended the ML dinner in Mount Airy on the 12th. I made a basket for the donation for the Dream Big Duck Derby. And on the 13th of June, we held our first snow cone event of the summer, and it was well attended. We served approximately 150 snow cones. It was a lot. I want to thank the Union Bridge Fire Company for donating ice and our volunteers, Monty, Judy, Jones, and Ellen, who helped. And we also received $10 in donations, which was given to Dawn to return to the budget. And we will have another snow cone event in July. I just do not have the date finalized yet, so keep your eyes open for flyers for that.
Okay. All right. Thank you, and I never knew there was so many kids in Union Bridge. I know it's a lot of kids because I see them at the bus stops in the morning when I ride around, but I've seen there was a lot of kids in town that day. That's great.
It is.
Yeah. Brett?
The only thing we got going on right now is we're trying to get this liner put in the stream crossing down here at the end of George Street in our sewer line. Work Thursday, and then they don't work Friday, so they were back this morning. Had to do a little extra cleaning. Things were a little mess down here closer to the wastewater plant. The last bunch that we paid to clean didn't do a very good job. So I got that done today. They put 2 patches in the pipe to initially seal off the stream water that's coming in, and then we're gonna line it from, I say we, they are gonna line it from one manhole to the other. It's about 200 foot. And hoping to do that tomorrow. And then that'll help tremendously. The flows have been, the minimum flow down there last month was 200,000 a day, and that's our permit number. And the max was over 400,000. So that's, it's double capacity of the rated capacity of the plant. And it's not, we can't sustain that for long. But hopefully tomorrow we'll be in much better shape. We should be in better shape now because they did put 2 patches on places in there now, which should have slowed the stream infiltration down. So one hopes. Been cleaning up a little bit. I've had Herb doing some mowing and stuff, finding some manholes, something that we need to continue so that when we need to find them, we don't have to root through the weeds and brush and cut down trees to get to them and stuff that we've done this time. So we're going to do a little better on that. And we want to pursue trying to find some money to do some stream restoration on the stream down through Clemson's Meadow there, because it's moved so much over the years that it's a danger to our sewer line now. It's already washed over. That's been some years ago, but it unearthed some sewer line that was actually leaking out into the stream, and we dropped back and put in a new line around that, temporary at the time. It's supposed to be temporary, but it's been in there for many, many years. But that line needs to be replaced, and it's slated to be replaced with the development, should that ever go forward and reach that milestone where they have to replace it. So I don't know. You can either hope that they do develop or hope that they don't, depending on how you look at it.
And it's still gonna have to be repaired.
It's still gonna have to be fixed. So I was talking with Mike Reynolds, and we're gonna see if we can find some grant monies to do some stream restoration down there. It's gonna be a big, expensive job, but it needs doing. And hopefully EPA, DNR, MDE, somebody has some money somewhere set aside for this. But we're just getting started on that.
Several years ago, the state, through the county, was talking about helping to do storm restoration down there, and they've never done it, so.
Yeah.
I will continue to work with them. I had a whole table full of them last Thursday night, so I will keep
Put it in
Hammering
their
on
ears,
them.
yeah. So
So that-
hopefully we can, because it needs to be done. I mean, it has to be done. Or we're going to have to find another way to get the sewer down here, because eventually it's going to move so far that we won't have any place to go. And Steve said he's moved his fence in that meadow 3 times
Yes.
over the last 15 years because the
stream keeps.
keeps moving over.
But I know I'd have to look back, but I know at one time the state had promised they were gonna help do that, so.
Yeah.
Of course, that
Well,
was,
good. Hopefully we can get them to
I
work
will.
with us.
I will do some talking with some of the representatives next week down at the
Good.
conference.
Good, thank you. That's all I have.
Okay.
I attended the MML quarterly meeting down at Mount Airy on the 12th, and I was helping with the snow cones on the 13th, and there's nothing to report for the community center.
Okay. Tony?
I had a meeting with some folks from Stanball for 4 potential paving projects on the streets, and I'm still waiting to hear from proposals and estimates on them. As soon as I get those, I'll get those forwarded. And I attended the MML as well. I have to say, love that organization. I was very, very impressed with that. It's a heck of an organization to get all the municipal folks together and for networking and for everything else. So I can't wait to attend the Ocean City one and get some.
See, if you like that,
Really do
you'll enjoy next
That's what
week.
everybody says. That's all I have.
Lots of opportunities there.
Yeah.
And I hope nobody minds, but as I've said for years, when we go to those meetings in the county, I don't sit with Union Bridge people. I sit with other people because I see you guys all the time. I go to those meetings so I can get with people that we don't see. And like last week, I sat with a delegate and 2 senators and different people, and that usually doesn't happen. But I mix it up. And when I was president of the Carroll County chapter a couple of years ago, and I said, when they came in, they got mad at me. I said, I don't want to see 2 people from the same town at the same table. Let's mix it up. And then a couple of the towns said, well, we got to do this. We're not coming back to the meetings. We want to sit with our people. You're with them all the time. Sit with other people so you know what's going on throughout the county. And I mean, because I've been there for 99 years plus, but I know a lot of people over the state and the county by doing that. But that's how you get to know what's going on in other towns. And like last week, I heard a lot of interesting conversation that some of them I probably shouldn't have heard, but you get with state senators and stuff, you hear a lot of stuff that goes, so. But the other towns, I mean, us mayors get together quite frequently, and we'll have a virtual meeting, and we used to have, like, go somewhere and have a dinner meeting just to throw stuff back and forth, what's going on from town to town, and you know, it's good to hear what other people are doing and how they're doing things sometimes, so. That it?
That's it. That's all I got.
Okay, public comments and concerns.
Mr. Wright, I know you're here for Leesburg Road. I don't know if you have anything to say.
I don't really have anything
Okay.
to say. I think it's in progress. I don't think there's much for me to say about it.
Okay.
I believe.
Okay, Sherry?
I'm Sherry Thompson. I'm here representing Dream Big Union Bridge. And everyone knows that our largest fundraiser, the Duck Derby, got postponed because of the very, very wet grounds down at the park, and we didn't want to take any chances of damaging it, so we postponed it. So what we decided to do that day, since we had already dedicated the weekend to the Duck Derby, we decided to go buy planters and buy flowers and put them on Main Street. So we put flower boxes on Save Point and Union Bridge Pharmacy. We got planters and put in front of Here and Now. We put planters in front of the gift shop. We took with Anthony's permission, we got his things back out because he had just stored them in the stairwell there, and we planted flowers in there, and then we also put flowers in Eric Goes at Originals, and we put a hanging basket railing thing at Union Bridge Pharmacy.
Looks good.
That's what we decided to do with our time that weekend because we don't have enough to do. So second, the Duck Derby will be July 12th. We will have 2 bands. We're going to have 2 wineries, and you were saying earlier about Rosy Cheeks, the distillery will be there. We've got numerous vendors, numerous food trucks. So we've got a 70-foot inflatable obstacle course. So it's going to be a lot of stuff going on. We have the Jeep Show and Shine, so there'll be all kinds of things to do there. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We didn't get to have it the original day, but we did hold our first farmer's market, which we had 2 vendors, which we knew was going to be small, and we anticipated that. But what was overwhelming was we had well over 100 people come. And the response was very positive. Everybody got it, that the fact that, it's not really produce season yet. It hasn't really launched. And we're taking baby steps because we want to do it right. We had good old Facebook, we had a negative there. And what the result of that was, a farmer's market is not somewhere where you sell flowers and you sell honey. And they'll never be back to Union Bridge Farmer's Market, but it was a Union Bridge person that did that. I stayed out of it, which I'm glad I did. The people commenting, I bet you we had at least 20 or 30 positive comments. So I was really happy about that. There's definitely a need in this community, and we are doing everything we can to try to fulfill that. We also have arranged to have food vouchers so that people can, they gave them out at the food pantry so that they can redeem them as well for anything that's edible. So we're beating the path, so.
I always thought a farmer's market, you could sell anything at farmer's market. I didn't know it was,
Well, ours, we're going by the guideline, we did a lot of research on it, and we're gonna, you can only be, like, local produce
Right.
and, things within.
but I'm
15
talking about flowers, if they're local, no, I always thought you could sell flowers and stuff at the,
Well, I'll tell you what, we sold a lot of flowers, it's several $100s worth of flowers, but, yeah, it was very, there's always gonna be that one, and,
Oh, yeah.
you know, but what was great was he actually did us a favor by doing that, because the community came out and like, give them a chance, it's the first one.
Yeah.
Sykesville started with one vendor, and they now have 90, so, you know, we could've went out, bought some produce, had it there to sell, but then it wouldn't have been locally grown.
That's right,
so
that's right.
Why bother? So if everybody could just support us, I mean, but again, like I said, I know I counted throughout that time from 9 to 2, a little over 100 people, so I'm thinking 100, 150, believe it or not, and I was just like, couldn't believe it. So we're working hard.
Well, and when, like you say, when produce starts coming in, it's not coming in yet, you know.
Exactly,
so.
and our produce person is in the process of building a trailer, and it wasn't done, so that's why she didn't come. Next weekend, I don't think we have any vendors, but then the following weekend, we have a whole, I think we've got like 3 or 4, but the people have been calling, wanting information, so it's gonna grow. It's just gonna take some time, so be patient, but we're gonna keep on keeping on because that's what we do. So, thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, at the end of this meeting, we're going to adjourn and go into closed session, and we will not be coming back to the meeting. We're going to go into closed session, and then, so at the end of this meeting will be over, and then we'll ask for a motion to go into closed session. Our next work session will be July the 14th. Our next council meeting will be July the 28th. Is there anything else that I may have missed? All right, well, hearing none, we're in line for a motion to close this meeting, and then a motion to go into closed meeting and a motion to close this meeting.
I make a motion that we close this meeting to go into a closed meeting.
I'll second it.
Okay? A motion to go into, close this meeting and go into closed meeting, is there, we have a motion?
We should state what the closed meeting's for, though.
It's for legal advice.
Yeah,
There we go. Legal advice.
Yep. Okay. Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Those, motion's carried and closed. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next month.